What's going on, everybody? Switchblade here, the OG Niner, the OG horror rapper, and I'm here with KarKast, and we'll be talking about horror movies today. And we have a special guest. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get started.
Yup, for sure. This is gonna be a great show. We're gonna be doing everything horror. Um, Hope everyone enjoys the new backgrounds that I have. Um, Obviously, you can also catch us on the Friday night show, um, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Mountain Time, and then obviously 3 p.m. PSTs. We're gonna be talking 49er football over there, all Niner talk. But here, every Wednesday, we're gonna be talking about horror. We have a couple of topics lined up today about three different horror movies. We're gonna have two raps at the end that Jeff wants to keep as a surprise. Or Switchblade, the OG horror rapper, also known as. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get into all that. But let's get into the first topic. We have a special guest. We'll introduce him once he gets in here. But The Conjuring. Let's talk about this a little bit. What are your thoughts? I know you watched the movie, but let me know your general thoughts on this because I thought it was a movie that it kept you on your toes, it kept you hooked, and it kept you entertained. You could just have your popcorn, sit there, and watch the movie entirely without getting bored. That's how it was scary, but it really entertained you.
I agree. I mean, I didn't really find it so scary, more like interesting. Particularly, what's it called? What was I gonna say? Oh, particularly the way that exorcisms were done in it, and also the fact that there were what was I gonna say? There were there were exorcisms in it. It's a mix between the Exorcist and I forgot the other movie slips my mind, but the fact that there were exorcisms in it and that the exorcisms weren't in English, I found that very interesting. I've never really seen that before. When I've seen the movie like The Exorcist, the movie has been the exorcisms have been in English, and this time it wasn't. So, I mean, the exorcism of Emily Rose, as I recall, was in German, so I understood that as well. But um, that's the only other time I really seen it. Usually they just say everything in English, so it was really interesting to see, especially because ancient Latin and ancient Greek were the first languages of Christianity. So was really interesting to see. And this was particularly in ancient Latin.
Yep, that's definitely a great point you make there. Yeah, the first time I watched it a while back. You definitely just watched it recently. Um, but when I watched it, it really caught my eye. I'm a huge fan of horror movies, but it still scared me to a point where it kept me on my toes. It made me jump a couple of times. It had a lot of jump scares. That's one movie you can point to and say, okay, there were a couple of jump scares and it really got you at the most unexpected moments when you least expect it. So, and there were like a couple of scenes, especially when the mother was going down in the basement to see what her husband was looking for because they moved into a new house recently, and then it looks like there was something wrong in the basement. She walked in. She was trying to go back upstairs, and um, she was trying to go back upstairs, and then something beside her. It was like a demon. Just it went like clap clap, and then you know a black screen just appeared.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you caught that, but and then the one with the demon was on the
I think
closet when
that
they
you mean during the clap hide and seek. Yeah,
yeah, that's when I was going to get to just now with the clap hide and seek. She was on the top of the closet, and they were playing. The closet doors immediately opened. She was trying to go and seek and find the people, and then she saw it open, and then you know they were playing Marco Polo. She heard Polo. She was trying to go to the closet, and then suddenly you see the thing jump out, and then you know, and it's also one thing that really goes underrated is the is the camera angles because the transitions in that movie were really I thought they were really really built to perfection. You know, like
Yeah,
he
and the
would.
director really knew what he was doing, going in the different panning views of and getting exactly um, well, for lack of a better term, I'll call it scare tactics. To get the proper scare tactics, the director really knew what he was doing in order to get you to jump. Not me, but you to jump. Because I did not jump in that movie, but
Right. Um, definitely. Yeah, the director was definitely on point, like you said. It was actually, I think it was published in 2017 or 2016. I mean, the beginning kind of really confused me because they were talking about some sort of doll, and then there was just three girls, and then they were getting creepy notes to like they were living in like an apartment, and then just kept getting these weird like notes filled with blood or something. Um, uh, yeah,
and
they
what
were getting.
about that? What about that mirror thing that was like with the clown? I mean, I kind of want to own that thing. It's so cool. It's just like the
Yeah,
clown popping up and down.
yeah. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit. You know,
Yeah, I like the thing that surprised me the most was like when she said to the mom, she's like, "Who are you talking to?" And she's like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm talking to my friend over here. Oh, can I see your friend?" And she's like, yeah. Okay, what do I have to do?" And she takes like this she takes what's it called? It's like a little box that has a clown in it that pops up and down. She's like, "Now when the song ends, you'll see him." What do you mean I'll see him? You'll see. And first time around, like she was saying, like, "Oh, it's not working" or whatever, and because the song stopped and there was no clown. But I mean, the song stopped and there was nobody behind her. But later on, she saw the the demon figure. And what I thought was really cool also, and you could chime in any time, those old school cameras were really cool. The way they had the flash on them and the smartness they did with the bells like ringing on the door.
hmm
That I thought was really cool because like it was crazy technology for the 60s and the 70s, you know?
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, you definitely made a great point about that. With um the camera, and then the dude that came in, he was using like the the thing where they were trying to find like Annabelle or some. It was something like that. I don't remember the exact parts to it, but
I mean the exact names.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Annabelle the doll.
Annabelle, right? Yeah.
And that was another interesting point you bring up with Annabelle because the guy who's been I don't know what you call him. I guess well, he ended up being the priest in the end because the other guy didn't come through, but because it wasn't really a religious family, it wasn't really a religious Christian family in the movie. Um, so that was another point. The priest said, we have to, well, I have to, but they haven't been baptized. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "There's demons everywhere. Well, we need to do something. And the priest, like, he didn't, like, he also said we have to contact the Vatican. And he's like, "You know what? I'll just pass it through myself." And I found it strange that the priest never passed it through to the exorcism because he said he'll pass it through himself and he'll go over and fix the problem because of the extreme horror that was going on, literally.
Yep. Here, I'm gonna quickly go do something, but quickly chime in on The Exorcist because I know you brought this up a little bit about The Conjuring. But
Okay, yeah. So I thought that it was a mix between The Exorcist and I keep forgetting what other movie. I had it at the time I watched it, but um, there was a lot of exorcisms going on this. Only didn't like the original Exorcist, let's say, there was no like the girl in the movie, she was from a very religious family, so it was quite different, because there was no saying like, well, they're not baptized or they're not religious or whatever, so we're not going to do the exorcism, which I thought was a little bit odd. But there's one thing that I found particularly disturbing. Well, there's many scenes I found particularly disturbing in the original Exorcist, and one in particular was that it walking like a spider backwards was quite a disturbing scene. So like she was on her hands and her legs, and she was walking literally like a spider would, and like backwards down the staircase. Of course, the most famous scene, which was seen in the movie The Conjuring, except in The Conjuring it was seen in Latin, was "The power of Christ compels you." That's like one of the most famous lines from the whole movie, when he puts up the cross and throws the holy water. And in all the exorcisms, they're always talking in different languages. I happen to like different languages in horror movie, and because I understand it for one thing, and for another thing, it adds a lot to the movie, because a lot of times it has to do with the place that it's happening, and so it really adds like more of that horror feel, I would say. And also, what?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Yeah, and also in the movie Carrie from 1974, like I told my brother Karthik over here, that is the only movie that scares me to this day, and I know what's going to happen in the ending. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, because it is a great movie. I highly recommend it, and I'm even going to see it with KarKast. But it's that is the only movie that scares me. It happens to be John Travolta's first movie ever, where it said introducing John Travolta, which is very interesting to me. And also, the way they did in The Exorcist, the way they did the way she threw up is she actually had pea soup before that, and that's how she threw up green, because many people may be wondering, how did they throw up green? But that's how she did it.
Well, let me just change my big screen. That's very interesting. Obviously you brought up what's it called, the Carrie, you said? That's the one movie you really got scared of?
Yeah.
That's very interesting, because we talked a little bit outside of YouTube, over the phone and stuff, and you're a big horror movie fan, and you're like, I don't get scared of many horror movies, and that's kind of interesting. Maybe could you throw out some things that really scared you from that movie? Because
that's the only thing that ever scared me, just the ending. Nothing else really.
Just the ending?
Just the ending. Can't really
What
throw
about
out.
Can you go more into detail, like what exactly happened? Because I know
it's a spoiler alert, so I guess I should warn people that, if I'm going to say what it is and they want to see it, they shouldn't stay on now, maybe wait 10 minutes or something. But it's the ending, so, and you want to see it also, so I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm kind of curious if you're going to jump during it.
No, well, no issues. I just want to know, because
But if you know about it, you may not jump. That, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. No force or anything. I'm not trying to force you to let the tea out, because obviously,
I don't really want to give a spoiler alert on it. It's a very good movie, and I highly recommend it. It was Sissy Spacek from 1974, and John Travolta in his first ever movie.
Well, no issues.
It's just interesting that that was his first ever movie. Because like he's so famous now.
Yep. I'm not forcing or anything. You don't have to, because I could already tell it's a great movie from what you have told me already. And can you give me a little bit, or the audience watching, um, a little bit more background information on John Travolta. Like who was he as a person? I mean, I don't want to put you under the spot, but who was he as a person? His background. What makes him a good horror movie actor? What makes him good at what he does?
John Travolta.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind of acted like well, he kind of acted like a badass, sort of. I mean, he was very what's it called? He he was a jerk a lot in the movie, and that happens a lot in horror movies. That not a nice person. He would make a lot of
Hmm.
trouble. He was, the best looking guy, so he had to find the best looking girl for prom and things like that. I mean, he was a jerk. He was a badass, and that's about it. And he had hair. He has no hair anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, he has no hair. Okay, that's
Yeah, he
well.
has no hair. He looks better in hair, honestly. But he had hair back then because he was first starting out. He was like, I don't know, like 17 at that time, at that movie. Literally his first movie. Period.
Well, I appreciate you answering that because that's very interesting. It's always great to know
Yeah,
how
I just wanted
people.
to make sure I didn't do a spoiler alert.
Yeah, no issues. It's always great to see how people came about as characters. How they came from their young childhood to see what they do today and how they're so good at it. Michael Myers.
Exactly.
The guy you just talked about. What's his name? John Travolta.
John
That's
Travolta. Yeah.
I'm pronouncing the last name correct, right? John Travolta.
Yeah. Oh,
Travolta.
did
Okay.
you ever see the movie? It's not a horror movie, but did you ever see the movie The Sum of All Fears?
Sum of All Fears. No, I haven't. How is it?
Okay. He was
You can
in
talk
that
about it a
also.
little bit.
No, that's the movie I was thinking of last night when I was talking to you. I couldn't remember what the name of it.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, you obviously have a lot of movies in the back, a lot of horror movies at the back of your head. You definitely know more than me, but it's really interesting. The Exorcism. I want to kind of, if you're okay with it, I want to kind of chime in back on The Conjuring. Since
Yeah, sure, sure. No problem. We'll get to what I have to say about other stuff later, but yeah, no problem.
yeah, because we got some other topics lined up for today as well. But The Conjuring, it was a very, I mean, it started off sad. I mean, okay, well, it didn't really start off sad, but it kind of started off happy. The family moved into a new house. What they have
Right.
like three, 4 kids, husband and wife. They moved into. It was a beautiful house from what it looked like. Really, they moved in. They got settled in, and then next thing you know, I think it was the youngest sibling. Her dog died. Right, her dog
Yes,
died.
Sadie was
Sadie
the name.
Sadie, and from then on, Jeff, I don't know if it was just you. I knew obviously something was wrong with the house. Obviously, I mean, you could tell if you read the bio before watching any movie. But from then on, I don't know about you, Jeff, but that I knew something was wrong with the house. Right, right from that spot, like your dog just randomly dies. I mean, like, and like died near the house too. Like, and then like they had like the chiming, the ringing bells, and then next
Yeah,
thing you know, there's people appearing through the walls, the picture frames. They start shaking one night. And from then on, I knew something wrong. Yeah, something was wrong with the house. And then it, they had to get the uh, what's the name of those people that had to come in and monitor the house and live with the family because
well, I mean, they're like modern day Ghostbusters, but I guess the special name was paranormal researchers, maybe, or
oh, paranormal. Well,
paranormal researchers, maybe, or
yeah, there
there
we go.
was
Ed and
there was
Lorraine Warren.
another name, but I forget the name.
Ed
It'll come to me.
Ed and Lorraine Warren. There we go.
Right.
That's their names. It was kind of
Right, and they
interesting.
and they kept showing like in the beginning also you think that something's really happening, but really they're watching something in their university classroom. So that was kind of interesting too, the way the aspect that bless you, the aspect that they did that.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the movie, they were doing
Yeah,
like
because they made it look like something's really happened, like this is happening in real life, but it was still a movie. And like then they're like, okay, class, what did you think? You know? And you weren't really prepared for that, you know?
Exactly, and that's what makes the movie so good. The transitions, the level of effort, of the director, just the whole staff. Like, it was just not the scary part, the scary scenes of the movie. It was the whole movie. It was the graphics. It was the audio. It was the what do you call it? It was the
It was the
I'm trying.
ambiance. It was the whole way that the movie came together.
It was the trajectory of the movie. It was the
Yeah,
sound
the
effects.
trajectory, sound
Everything came
effects.
together. It's kind of like the whole group came together and they put out a phenomenal film. And still to this day, it's a top hit, in my
Yeah.
opinion at least.
The Conjuring, by the way, is the summoning of demons.
And also there's a Conjuring, the first Conjuring, there's also a Conjuring 2 and a Conjuring 3 with
Yeah,
different,
there's even a 4.
yeah, they just put out a 4 and it's
Yeah, we
different
gotta
demons.
we gotta see those also. We'll see the differences and stuff. We'll
It's
watch that
different
together too.
demons. It's
One of these
different
days.
demons. In this movie, the demon was actually named Bathsheba with the white, the mother got possessed. She was put in the chair. The father had to read the Bible or preach, and then she
Oh,
had
that
to.
wasn't the father. That was the
Oh, that
guy,
was that was the how do you pronounce this? Para.
paranormal researcher.
There we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know
Yeah, you got that. No
that's a tongue
problem.
twister. That's a tongue
Yeah.
twister. But paranormal researcher. Um, he had to read the book, and then they had to bring her back to life, basically. And hey, that wasn't creepy, but man, this is. If you're not a horror movie fan, I suggest you don't watch that movie because that movie can really make you throw up. The way
Yeah,
she
but
acted.
but KarKast, Switchblade here, telling you, nobody's watching this that's not a horror fan. I mean, that's why we're here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just saying because people go into. Hey, I wasn't a horror movie fan until I watched The Conjuring. Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, no, and there are other people who will never be horror movies fans. They're too scared of it. It gives them nightmares, whatever it is. But that's not us, and that's why we like it.
Right, but at the same time, it's always good to start somewhere. Even
Of
if you don't
course,
know what
my
because
my first horror movie was my favorite one, Halloween 5. I'll get to that in my rap too.
yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, I was not a big horror movie fan when I started to watch The Conjuring. But I watched the
What
movie
age did you start liking horror,
once I
Carlos?
watched The Conjuring. You know why?
But how old were you?
Like 12,
12. Okay.
and look
Yeah,
at
I
me
didn't
now.
start liking horror till high school, so I can understand that.
Really, till high school. That's pretty late.
Till high school, yeah, it's pretty late. I was not a fan. I used to when Freddy Krueger would come on, I used to shut off the TV. It freaked me out till I got older. I
Freddy
appreciated it
Krueger.
more.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, when I was like 5, then tonight Freddy Krueger, and so I just shut it off. I just shut off the TV and ran away. I was like 5.
Yep. Yep. And
Yeah.
that's when I really started like watching The Conjuring. I actually watched it with a group of friends. So, and um, they actually overreacted more than I did.
They got more
They were
scared than you?
scared. Yeah, and
Well, that's
they've had
interesting.
they've
Did they
obviously,
get scared at the same parts that you did?
like, I mean, yeah, because it's kind of obvious what parts were kind of scary in that movie because the music kind of led up to it. The what do you call it? The sinister kind of music. You know,
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it is kind of sinister. Except when they were moving in, that was more like 60s, 70s music. That was the only thing that was like happy music, sort of.
that's what I'm saying. It started off happy and then it just went on a downfall.
Yeah,
Ever
pretty
since.
much.
And remember, this movie is based on a true story, so that house is still there.
Could someone go visit it?
Probably, but I wouldn't encourage them to. Why would you do
Okay.
that?
I don't know. You could still visit the Amityville Horror House.
What do you want to get killed? I don't know. I'm not trying to risk anything. I'm
I know.
17.
It's interesting that it exists, And I don't know. I think I would, check it out one time if I had the means. Because, I'm heavily into horror like you, but everybody has their thing, Some people like, I don't, they don't want it, can't handle it or whatever. Because, they just saw that movie and, it's too hard. So I get it, but it's kind of like to each your own kind of thing, I guess. But I would kind of want to see it if it existed.
Oh,
Unless
yeah.
they just like made a set, like the house. You said the house exists though, so I don't think it was just a set.
Uh-huh. Right.
But yeah,
Yeah. The set, this that the characters, all pretty. I think it was just put together phenomenally. But talked about the extras.
should I go on? Do you still want to talk about The Conjuring, or should we move on to another topic? Because we have several today.
Which topic do you want to go to next? It's up to
I
you.
was going to talk about the Halloween series and how I felt that it failed. And then if you want to chime in on that, you're welcome to.
Yeah, you can talk about how it failed. Go ahead. Why did the Halloween franchise fail? Yep.
Okay, so the first series we're gonna look at here, we're gonna make it into parts or whatever. But for this time around, we're gonna focus on the Halloween series, and we're gonna focus on Silent Night, Deadly Night. So the first series we're gonna talk about is the Halloween series and how I believe it failed. Now we start the movie in 1974 with the original Halloween, which I found to be an amazing movie. It was the development of the harness camera, which meant basically, and it had just come out, which is the coolest thing because I mean, it's the 70s. You don't expect that kind of technology, but it was very technological for the time. They had just come out with the harness camera, which made Michael Myers, in this movie in particular, in many of the Michael Myers movies afterwards, you saw Michael Myers almost the whole time. But in this particular movie, you never saw him, but you knew he was there. And that, I think, was a really cool aspect. By using this harness camera, they were able to make it look like he's around or he's going to do something before he does it. And, just like with the scary music, which happens to be my ringtone, which is which is John Carpenter's, he actually composed, the director, John Carpenter, he actually composed that song, in fact, which is pretty cool too, because you don't usually see that the composer is also the director, and that's quite a skill right there. The other thing is that the other thing that I found really and so that's what I found most interesting about Halloween. Now, Halloween 2 I also liked because it took place in a hospital. And he didn't only use weapons of, that you could find around the house or whatever, like the famed Michael Myers knife that he has. And if you don't know what that looks like, but you probably do, I have that knife right there after it says OG Horror Rapper. So that's what the knife looks like. And the thing is that, what was I going to say? Oh, so it was really cool that he used scalpels and he used things that you would find in a hospital. And it's the only time he did that. So I found that very, very cool. And also, before it's the only Halloween song where usually it starts like the official Halloween song. But in this movie in particular, it started, Mr. Sandman, dream me a dream, make it the cutest that I've ever seen. And then when it finishes that lovely, melody, it goes da, 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 da. So it's just like totally unexpected, which I thought was really cool.
Right.
Now Halloween 3 is where I think they screwed up because there was no Michael Myers. all of a sudden you just had these. They called it the season of the three witches, and you just had like these kids dressed up in masks. It was kind of. I mean, there were snakes and stuff and skulls inside the movie, which obviously makes it horror. But the kids kept for one of the stores in order to get the Halloween mask. It was kind of funny because there was this song that kept playing, 8 more days till Halloween, 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 8 more days till Halloween. And then it would say, Lucky Shamrock. So it was really funny, which doesn't make any sense in a horror movie. So I think that's where they failed. I think the series could have been a lot better if that wasn't there. And I also feel like, what's it called? So I really think that screwed it up. But then Halloween 4 came around, and I liked Halloween 4. It was better than the third one, obviously, at least. I don't know what you're doing there. Okay. And at least you had Michael Myers again. So that's what I have to say about Halloween 4. I didn't love it, but I thought it was much better than Halloween 3. At least it's going in line with the with that. And and my favorite Halloween movie, the Halloween 5.
Jingle bells.
No, that's not till later. You're jumping the gun, KarKast.
My bad.
Karthik, my brother. Stay on topic. We can't take him anywhere. We can't even open the car door for him. Anyway, what's it called? What I liked about The Revenge of Michael Myers, my favorite horror movie by far, is the telepathic connection that his niece, little Jamie, had, because Michael Myers was the uncle in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And little Jamie felt the pain that he was going through, and it became a part of him. So like anytime he was going to make a kill or something bad was going to go wrong, she would start to freak out, get like convulsions or
what do you mean by convulsions?
Like shake, like while she's sleeping, and start freaking out, maybe sweating a lot.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. And then the thing is that and then also she felt his pain, which was really interesting. And even when and there were really interesting parts where like towards the middle of the movie, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just going to say a couple of parts because I know Karthik hasn't seen any of the Halloweens, but I think he'd enjoy them with me.
Right.
They basically, brother, they had, what's it called?
What's it called?
She would like touch him even and be like, "Uncle."
That's kind of messed up.
It is kind of messed up, but that was part of the movie. And she's like, "Show me your face," and like she would take off the mask, and then he got very violent and put it back on and started to go after her at that point. So that's really
too much. That's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. But it was a really, really good movie. And then we get into Halloween 6, where it was basically a movie about devil worshippers with Michael Myers in it, obviously. And so it was a really cool movie. And
I'm playing around with the overlays.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's distracting while I'm trying to talk, but okay. There's a lot of blood and murder, a lot of gory killings throughout the movie.
I mean, it is a horror movie. Come on now, it is a horror movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, but like there are those that like horror movies that are like, Silence of the Lamb type, make you think, but then there are others that want the gore, and we're here for both, don't get me wrong.
Right. Both have its own unique ways of being
Exactly, and nothing is the wrong way. If you're into that, that's
Exactly.
good. If you're into the psychological factor, that's good too.
Exactly.
I mean, Michael Myers has the psychological factor, but I'm not going to kid you; it's bloody as hell.
Yep. Never judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. So in Halloween Resurrection, what I thought was really cool is that Busta Rhymes was in the movie, and he was really funny. You know, there were parts where he was like,
McNiner.
no, he's like, no, Michael, I go that way. Yeah, McNiner, it's definitely cringeworthy. That's a good point. Yeah. And it's dark and mysterious, as you say. But the thing is that, what was I going to say? Yeah, so there was, what was I going to say? Oh, so they go back to his house, and Busta Rhymes in that movie was hilarious because he's like, no, Michael, I go that way and you go this way. What do you think you're doing? And he looks at him
Right.
like, huh? And that was the real Michael Myers, and he was wearing a Michael Myers mask also, and he didn't know it was him. So it's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, for sensationalism, Tyra Banks was in the movie. You know, to give it the flair and sensationalism that it deserves. Now, Rob Zombie Halloween. I always thought that Rob Zombie in his movies in general, he was always better in his second movie. I never liked his first movie. I thought that Devil's Rejects was a million times better than House of a Thousand Corpses. And, you know, that's just my feeling. I don't know if you've seen any of those movies, Karthik.
No, I haven't. Yep, sorry
Okay,
about that.
so that's okay. So we'll see it at some point. But those are my feelings, and maybe some point down the line, you can tell me your feelings on that.
Yep.
One thing I hated about the movie, well, I hated a few things. I hated the fact that the movie came out on August 31st, because why even call it Halloween? It is the only Halloween movie that did not come out on or near Halloween, which makes no sense. And I was actually watching that in the summertime, you know, in the movie theater. So it was quite strange.
That is quite strange.
Yeah.
What is that like?
The only good thing I liked about that movie is that Captain Spaulding played the caretaker. And Captain Spaulding, if you don't know, which I think most people here do, he was in The Devil's Rejects, and he was quite a vicious character. He played this clown, but he was quite a scary clown, very scary clown. And he played the caretaker. Honestly, I think he played the caretaker better than he did in the original Halloween. I mean, if there was someone around like that, that would have been good, but he was a really good caretaker for the cemetery. And I liked in Halloween 2, I liked it a lot better. There were a lot more cooler scenes. There were a lot more, I wouldn't say there were a lot more killings, but
Right.
the way the killings were done were different. Now, I understand him putting Sherry Moon in because that's his wife, and that makes sense. But the other characters, again, in Halloween, in the original Halloween of Rob Zombie, that really didn't make much
Rob Zombie.
Besides. And the original is a much better film to begin with. I mean, if you haven't seen Halloween, I would say start off at the original from 1974. The 70s was where it was yet. Was where
the
it was.
Fuck is going on?
The Saw series?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Saw series another time, McNiner. That's not what I have in mind for today. But yeah, it was very cringeworthy. I agree.
What do you think? Speaking of clowns, what do you think of killer clowns?
Killer clowns are interesting. I find that quite interesting, the killer clowns.
I find them scary. Really scary. Actually. To be honest with you.
You do find them very scary? Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it. Okay.
Also, why did they put it as August 31st instead of October 31st?
I don't know. And I really think that is a great way to ruin a movie.
Like, why? Like, that would be so awesome.
I don't know. Like, if it was like, I know what you did last summer, I get it. You know, it's the summertime, it's killings, I get it. You know, but Halloween, like, I don't. It's beyond me. It just. I don't know. I just ruined the whole thing for me. I'm like, why is it out in this? Like, I'm wearing shorts. Like, what's going on? It's not Halloween. You know. Again, like, if it was I know what you did last summer. Okay, I get it. You know, even Scream. I mean, that took place in the summer. Somewhat. I mean, it was in university and stuff, but it's kind of like summer school. I mean, people were wearing shorts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna call it that name, then it's just strange. I don't know that there is a reason or that they even thought about it, why they would do that. I know that John Carpenter never did that.
Right.
So yeah, and then I also forgot about Halloween H2O. Now, by the way, that is the dumbest title I've ever heard. Halloween H2O. I mean, how are people to know that it's Halloween and 20 years later? I mean, it sounds to me like it's just Halloween water, like it's a chemical compound for water. Like I just don't get it. And
Right.
he must have died 7 times in that movie before he was actually dead. So it wasn't even halfway realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to move away from Halloween, and I don't know if you want to save what your thoughts are on Hush for now, or you want to save that for later, because I have more to say on the franchises. But if we want to take a break and talk about the movie Hush, we can do that too.
You want to do one of the raps now, or save that for then?
Whatever you want, but I have to take a picture of it, so I have to come off camera again.
Let's talk about Hush a little bit, if you want.
Okay.
Actually, no. Hold on. Finish up on the franchises. Actually, good.
Okay. So in the Silent Night, Deadly Night original, that was classic. Also in the 1970s, Santa was a rapist in the movie, which is like completely ironic because like you would
That's
never
weird.
expect that.
That's actually weird.
It is weird.
Damn.
And in the second one, he came up as
oh wow, McNiner.
That's true, McNiner. Thank you for sharing. What was I gonna say? Oh, and then Billy returns in the movie. He's the guy that is Santa in the movie, and he makes the kills. He uses an axe and whatever else he could find. Now, and I thought it was a really good movie as well. Now, the third, he used a fire poker. He used an axe. He used knives, obviously. In the first one, he used a switchblade, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a way of, being forceful on the girl to rape her. Because you had to have some kind of weapon if you're going to do that, unfortunately. So on the third one, I didn't care for it as much because there was a lot of flashbacks and, like psychiatrists and psychologists talking to him and taping what he's saying. And that was most of the movie. It wasn't as bad as 4, though, because 4 did not even have Santa in it. It just had lesbians and cockroaches, which is just so strange of a combination. I don't know what they were thinking, and I feel that it destroyed that franchise. Now, 5 was a lot better. It had Mickey Rooney as the toy store owner, which was genius, and the toys all came alive to kill. It wasn't just Santa himself. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, but I mean, again, lesbians and cockroaches.
Can I speak on something?
Yeah, but my last point: the lesbians and cockroaches. I just don't know why they would put that in a movie. Period. Just doesn't make any sense. And no Santa. I mean, that's a big part of a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. Obviously. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just wondering why they would make Santa like who comes. I mean, I get it, but like it's isn't that so weird? Like a rapist, really? Like out of all things.
Yeah.
How did they deal with like the copy? Like how did they deal with getting it published with no hate? Like you could get a lot of hate for that. Like calling him Santa a rapist. Like what?
Well, he was a rapist in the movie. He raped a girl. That's why Billy was the way he was. That's a big part of it. It's a good point you brought up, which I failed to mention. Billy saw that as a baby, and that scarred him for life. And that's why he decided to kill people as Santa, because Santa to him was just an evil person, and that's what they were driving at. So they had to do it that way because it was his mother that was raped in the beginning of the movie. You understand? So then
Oh,
it,
really?
it lingered with him, yeah. And that's why he became the way he did.
That's why he pick. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it was an excellent horror movie. I loved every
Excellent.
minute. Yeah, I loved
Excellent.
every minute of it.
Excellent. Excellent.
Good. Copy what I say. That'll get you far.
Well, I'm taking the advice of God's gift to the world of horror movies. Am I
I don't know
wrong?
about that. I
Am
don't
I
know about
wrong?
that.
Am I wrong though?
I don't know about that. I know a lot, and I've taken courses in it, but
Am I wrong? No. Just say no.
okay. Okay, no, you're not wrong.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's like what I thought.
I take it as a compliment.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but let's you want to talk about Hush now, since we both saw that together?
Yeah, but I want to get your thoughts because I don't know if you're being sarcastic. If it, if it was a good like that was one of the best horror movies, even
I
though there
really,
was.
I really enjoyed the movie because it took a lot of aspects, which I was very surprised and amazed about. It took a lot of aspects of the original Halloween because it wasn't what you did see; it's what you didn't see that counted most of the time, except with the weapon itself. Because then you knew something was going on there, but because it was quite a weapon to use.
What is John Jay trying to ask? I'm not afraid. Do you know what he's trying to ask? I'm kind
Yes,
of.
it's from Ghostbusters, John Jay. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Down, 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 down. Yep.
Yeah, but dude, that I. Do you know the thing that most? Imagine living in a house with that masked killer after your ass. Just saying. Just saying. The
Yeah, it
dude
was a pretty scary mask, I must say.
and
I mean,
the
to me,
and
it
then
was along the lines of the Michael Myers mask. It was scary.
and then the fact that he had her phone, just standing outside, and then she was like, "Where's my phone?" And then they rushed to close it. Imagine he got in. Imagine what would happen next.
Right, but it wasn't even as if she could say, "Where's my phone?" because unfortunately she was deaf in the movie.
That's just that's like the
That was the scary aspect. That was the scariest aspect.
because he easily could have came up there and like took that knife and slit her throat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that knife for sure. That's a Rambo knife right there.
Why do you think he didn't do that though? Like why? Because he was right there. You know what I'm saying?
Because it would ruin the. Because where do you go from there with the movie?
True,
Okay,
true.
he's dead. That's the main character. He's the main character, so it's all over. Like, okay, so the movie's
Okay,
what, 10 minutes short? you know, that's why I would say, like, yeah, like
yeah, but
where would you go? Like, you could say that with a
yeah,
lot of movies, but then, like, um, if you don't put in the sensationalism and you don't go on and on, like, where do you go from there? Like, okay, you just killed the main character. So what do we do now? I don't know, go out to dinner. It's like, no, we need to do something with this movie. How are we going to get it into theaters in 10 minutes? I mean, you got to take it somewhere. You can't just,
yeah,
I
but
mean, you could do that if it wasn't the main character, like, her friend that was involved with making the book and stuff.
yeah, but think about it. What really happened after that though? Like, what did the killer really do? He didn't really get involved with the woman. He was just hanging
No,
around.
that was the most surprising thing to me. That there was no lust, there was no, and I put that in the rap, which is copyrighted, but there was no lust, there was no.
Hey, no copyright here.
Well, you know what I mean.
No.
Okay, you're really making me dizzy now.
Hey, it's a
um,
horror channel, so. Da, da, da.
oh yeah, okay, I got you.
All right. Speaking of, let me chime in since I have kind of more experience on the movie since this is my fourth time watching it.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
No offense taken, right?
I don't like the word "no offense." We went through this, but just go ahead on your point. Yeah,
Oh, my bad. My bad.
all good.
Um, But like, what did the killer really do after he took her phone? Like, he was just lingering around the house, messing around with the dog. He almost killed the dog. Remember that part? And then she shot him in the head. And then, you know.
I think you're mixing in The Conjuring with this. There was no dog. There was a cat.
Yeah, a cat. A cat.
Oh yeah.
And then what really confused me is why did he? What was the thing that he wrote on the door? Remember on the glass door? Like, and Jeff, you okay, bro?
Yeah, I'm okay.
you you look
I'm
like,
Switchblade over here, though. Remember?
oh my bad, my bad. So Switchblade. Sorry, I'm still getting
Yeah.
used to it.
Okay.
But remember, if you said what would happen to the movie after he slit her throat, then why did he take off his mask? What's the point of that? It's supposed to be a
Yeah,
secret.
I didn't. You're right. I didn't really get that. Because she was saying like, why don't you just show me your face or whatever, you know? And he said, okay. He doesn't. I think he was like a Marine or something. He just didn't care. It's like in his mind, maybe he was like, I'm gonna kill you either way. It doesn't matter like if I have a mask on or I don't. I don't need to hide myself with a mask. Maybe I did for that girl that I was coming behind her, but for you, I don't have to. I don't care if you see my face. I don't give a damn. You know?
I don't give a fuck. I'm joking. But how about we do the raps?
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me. I have more things actually.
Okay.
The hush. Would you be scared to death if that dude was lingering around? That's what scares me about. What if you have a random stranger? You don't see bow and arrows usually in horror movies.
Well, this is more than a bow and arrow. It was actually a rifle that on top of it was, and the trigger was the rifle itself. But the hardest part, as we saw in the movie, was her loading the rifle.
Hold
And
on.
he had like crazy muscles, so for him, it wasn't difficult at all to load it. But it's quite a you never think about it, but it's really a hard weapon to load.
If you were living in the house and that dude was just lingering, doing his own thing, trying to get inside of your house, would you be scared to death? And he shut down your Wi-Fi. Remember, she couldn't call 911. She tried to
I
call
don't know. I
911.
live in the dark most of the time, as you know already, so I
I
can't
know.
used
But
to
what
it.
if? But what if? Like, imagine after this show ends, you just randomly see a guy. I don't want to jinx anything, but what if you see some dude just carrying like an AR-15 just around your house, trying to get inside, and you had no Wi-Fi, no nothing? Tell me you wouldn't be scared.
Oh, you got a crossbow. Um,
Yeah, well,
it's a scary thing, but I think I don't know that he would waste his time. He obviously knew, or at least he thought he knew he was.
if he
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
waste it,
at least he
no,
thought he
hold on,
knew he
hold
was
on.
doing.
If he wouldn't waste his time, then why was he trying to get in so badly?
But you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish my statement.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think he would waste his time on someone like me or you. He knew what he was doing. He targeted her for a reason. I think it was because she was an author and he didn't want the book to be published for some reason. Maybe there was something in there
Yeah,
that
but this is not based on a true story.
I know. But even within the movie, I mean, maybe there was something in there because you saw in the movie she kept writing in her book. So, I mean, and it was on her laptop. So, maybe my thoughts were if you were to look into it deeper, he knew who he was targeting. I don't think he would want to have targeted a man in this case. I
Mm.
think he had an idea of targeting a woman. The only thing that surprises me is that he didn't make any moves on her. That wasn't his intentions, as usually happens in horror movies. So that was very surprising to me. And I also want to say that it reminds me, and Karthik and I will watch this movie, and then we'll talk about it as well, of a movie in 1967 called
Yeah,
what was it called again?
Carrie.
No, 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 no. Um,
Then what do you, Jeff?
well,
That cheap was in your walls.
Yeah, maybe. um, I'm trying to think of the name. Well, let's just say it's the same kind of idea that was made in 1967. My mom's seen it. She hates horror movies, which I thought was interesting, and she recommended it to me.
All right,
And
peace
it
out.
was with Audrey Hepburn. You still there? Okay. It was with Audrey Hepburn. Oh, Wait Until Dark. That was the name.
Boo.
What are you doing? It was with Audrey Hepburn, and it's from 1967. It's called Wait Until Dark, but the girl was blind in the movie. So when you take away the people's senses, it makes it even more scarier of a movie, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in this case, I mean, I don't know why it took so long, because this was 1967 and nothing was created again that you're losing your senses that I know of in horror until now, until 2016, which is when that movie came out, which is what, like 80 years later, at least. But,
All right, I'm ready for the raps.
okay, but I'm still in the middle of talking about
Oh, yeah.
this. So the fact that the senses were dimmed, and that they didn't have any, like in that case she was blind, and in this case she was deaf. You know, that really adds a different kind of aspect to a horror movie. Do you have anything to say about that? When the senses are dimmed, like you don't have certain senses, because we take advantage of the senses we have: the sense of smell, the sense of
We
taste.
take it for granted. Don't you agree?
Yeah, we take it for granted.
That's why it's so hard for people. Imagine she was blind. You don't know. That's even worse. And
Well, that's what this movie's about. That's why you and I will see it. It's very different, and yeah, it's worse for sure.
all right.
All right, let me get the reps. I'm just gonna put my Switchblade up for now. I'm gonna have to leave and come back though, because I have to take the picture again.
And what is that though? What the hell?
That's a Switchblade,
Why does it look like a razor?
because you can't see the top of it. That, you know, StreamYard doesn't allow you to get the rest of the picture for some reason. But you can see a little bit of it sticking out, you know, right there. You see a little bit of a blade if you look carefully.
I would not want to touch that in any under any circumstance. Sorry.
I hear you, but it's used a lot in horror movies. It's a very scary weapon. And I told you, it was used in the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night. We'll watch it, so you'll see it. But I think we should watch it closer to Christmas. Anyway, I'm signing
Dun
out, and I'll
dun
be right
dun
back with
dun
the rest.
dun 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 dun.
You do what you want now, okay?
Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be back. I gotta take the pictures.
All right, what's up, guys? My co-host actually went to take pictures of his own rap, so I'll just be on mute till then. But yeah, just want to let you guys know about that. But yeah, my bad. I'm a little bit under the weather. But my co-host went to drop the link. I mean, take the pictures of the rap. But yeah, what's up, Corona? Thank you for tuning in. Why's my phone lagging? My bad, Corona. I don't know what's going on. Alright, what the hell, man? Yeah, possibly Corona. I'll drop the link. We'll see. 3 people. Appreciate that. Corona, you like any horror movies? You a fan of any horror movies? Let me know. Oh, he's back.
Okay, I'm back.
What's good? What's up?
What's good? What's up?
David Corona has entered the chat. What
Yeah,
up?
I noticed. What up? What up, David Corona?
I don't know if he's a horror fan. What's
I
your
don't know
favorite
either.
horror movie, Corona? Let me know.
What happens? With what?
What happened? I think he was like, "Where's Jeff? Where's my
Oh,
car?"
okay.
He went to take your pictures.
Switchblade, not Jeff.
I need to get Switchblade. My bad.
All right,
Switchblade.
are you ready for the Michael Myers one?
Yeah, but Corona, yeah, let me know if you're a horror fan. I'll drop the link. Then we can come in here and talk. No 49ers.
They know. None of them commented about 49ers.
What?
Don't remind them. All right, you
What?
ready? I said not one of them commented about the 49ers. You
Should I
ready?
drop the drop the link first for Corona? Then you start.
No, we'll drop it after if he wants to talk about horror movies, because then it's going to distract us.
I mean, I probably got to. I might end it after these 2 raps. So.
Okay, whatever you want.
All right, go ahead. Wait, what beat do you want though?
What beat do I have? What are my options?
Well, you know what? Do one without the beat because I only have a limited supply.
Okay, no problem.
Oh
What's
wait,
the
wait,
Michael
wait,
Myers?
wait.
Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
What?
He also likes The Exorcist. Wow.
It's not my favorite movie though, but I do like it.
Great minds think alike, huh?
Yep.
Right?
I'm gonna like that. Great mind thinks alike, Corona. He's
Yeah,
earned a new respect for me. I don't think anyone else here likes horror.
no, McNiner likes horror. He was in
He
here.
does? Oh,
Look,
you? Told you not to do that.
look. All right, go ahead.
Great mind thinks alike. 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, thank you, David Corona, for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You said it twice.
I know. I don't know why it does that. I still can't figure that out. Every time I type something, it says it twice. I apologize, everyone, that it says it twice.
What is this?
McNiner, that's for another show.
See,
Is
McNiner does like horror movies.
Yeah, but he didn't comment when I said it. Or maybe he wasn't there. No, he was there. I don't know why. Okay.
All right, Corona. I might end it after this, but after the 2 raps, go ahead, Jeff.
Switchblade.
Jesus. Okay.
It says it right there.
Okay, I'm sorry. Your actual name is Jeff, though, so I don't know.
You'll get used to it eventually. I hope.
Switchblade.
Switchblade, yeah.
Switch. Okay.
Armed with a big ass serrated. Can I start?
What?
Could I start? I said because before you said no.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Let me just put the thingy up because it's gonna look weird otherwise.
But yeah, Corona. Yeah, I think Corona's a fan of horror. No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you, David Corona. Everybody hit the like button, please. If you can, we would appreciate it.
Oh, I'll keep that up there. You can start, though.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, McDonough has a quick question for you, though.
It's not Michael. I'm not going to correct him, but it's Michael Myers would win. That's my opinion.
Same thing.
No, Mike Myers is actually a funny guy who's from Austin Powers. They're 2 different people.
So who do you think wins the cage match?
Michael Myers, I'm going to say.
But you said they're 2 different people, though.
Yeah, Michael Myers and Jason are 2 different people. That is correct. Really annoying. Why does it do that twice?
Yeah, you're like
I apologize, though.
You're like spamming the chat, bro. Chill.
No, every time I type it once, it types it twice. I don't understand why.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking chill out.
All right, you ready?
Corona would definitely act in a horror movie.
I think so.
No.
I would also. I'm going to when I return to New York. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Ode to Michael Myers, armed with a big-ass serrated butcher knife, putting his victims in strife. He particularly likes to kill when boyfriend and girlfriend are getting romantic, and when he makes the kill, it is always quite tragic, making boys and girls everywhere panic. He is a horror icon, fanatic, my favorite of all the horror characters and actors. His mask is based on the face of William Shatner. He is a phenomenal actor, makes his killings with such precision as accurate as nuclear fission in Halloween 5, Little Jamie, as feeling his telepathicness, feels his pain through his vision, always making precise killing decision with no provision, no supervision. Sometimes so precise it is like a surgeon's incision. And mind you, in Halloween 2, it was a surgeon's incision the way he did it. With derision, the act of deriding or treating with contempt, and there are barely any heroes in this movie, so you can bet nothing is heaven sent, but no derision, for he shows no contemptuous laughter, but you can bet your life is on the line, so it is most definitely a factor. As strong as a tractor, you may not come out alive or in a non-mangled position, and this is that way it has been and will always be going along with horror tradition. And in The Exorcist, you most assuredly have an excision. As in this movie, to excise the demon out of Regan Crane, the priest tries to drive the demon inside Regan Crane insane. Wants to drive the demon so far away as Spain. And in this movie, boy, is there a lot of rain. As the priest in the movie quotes, the power of Christ compels you, while holding the cross, trying to show the demon who is boss with horrific force and taking the demon on a roller coaster course. But back to Halloween 5. I do not particularly care for any of his masks besides the original mask of William Shatner on his face, and when you face off against him, you most assuredly have a bleeding face.
Is that it?
That's it for that one. Now you want to hear Hush again. Now you want to hear Hush, right?
Yeah, is this the last rap?
That's the last rap, and then you can close it if you want, whatever you want to do, or bring David Corona on and we could talk about The Exorcist.
Oh, look who popped in.
Who?
My boy Ryan from No Borders Sports.
What's up, Ryan? We'll be seeing you on Friday night, I hope.
Nah, he'll be there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Everyone go subscribe to No Borders Sports, as well as... What did he say? Oh, bro, your thing keeps coming in twice. It looks like you're spamming.
I'm not trying to. I don't know what to do.
I know, you're all good.
Did I, sign out, sign in, but the same thing's going to happen. It's really weird. I apologize, everyone, in advance that I keep sending the message twice. I'm not meaning to. It's just doing that for some reason. I don't know why.
It says, what up, everyone? What up, man?
All right, so should we do the rap Hush?
Yeah, you can do the Hush rap now.
Okay. Ode to the movie Hush, filled with blood and guts, somewhat trust, but surprisingly not once was there lust. Coming in for the killer became somewhat of a bust. One of the weapons of choice was a crossbow, and when it hit, boy, did the arrow into the skin thrust. The victim, for obvious reasons, thought it was the victim, lived in quite an affluent area. You might even say, like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, upper crust. She gave... where was I? Oh, she gave the killer a look of disdain and disgust. The arrow every time was carried through a strong but silent in the air crisp wind gust. The arrow was hard to adjust, to sit just right in the crossbow was with the bad guy. There was a feeling of mistrust. Since the main victim was deaf, there was a need to read lips and readjust. But surprisingly, no one did cuss, unless you count sign language cussing. The killer did combust in many sense of the term, and did him anger did burn. And making the kill is for something he did yearn. Making the killing was going to be perfect on this deaf woman. So he would... Where was I? So he would take his time for the perfect moment and then take his turn. And when he did, the fight for her life did sojourn. She was smart, she was cunning, running, crossbow gunning. This man at all times she was trying to be shunning. Outgunning the killer was also armed with a knife, a bush machete, and the blood flow to him was a lot like confetti. To make the strategic moves like Freddy Krueger, Freddy Krueger, that is, he always tried to outmaneuver her any chance he can get. Oh, believe me, this was way more than a threat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Karthik for watching with me and telling me to watch this movie. This movie was off the hook, like our channel and our panel. All right, you feel me? Bet. Switchblade, the OG horror rapper, out.
Yo, that was sick. Yeah. We got Bryant. What's up, Bryant Cole?
Yep, what's up?
We got Bushy Boy.
Bushy Boy? Bushy Boy.
That's a funny name. Yeah, we need the mic drop, Jeff.
I don't have a mic. Oh, just drop the phone?
What's the least you could do when you don't got that kind of equipment? But
well, even if I were to drop it, if I had the kind of microphone that some other people had, I wouldn't want to drop it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So should we get on a horror panel now? Do you think anybody wants to?
Well, Brian said drop the link.
Drop the link then.
But
I didn't know he liked horror movies.
I don't know.
It's up to you.
KarKast and Jeff are straight entertaining. Jeff with the bars. Facts, yo.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait for some more people to tune in. Let's
okay.
See.
So what else do we talk about in the meantime?
Actually, this is more people than I expected, to be honest with you.
I told you. I don't know who Bushy Boy is. Should we get Bushy Boy in here? I just like the name.
He says, yeah, no issues, Brian. Brian's the GOAT. Now I can't get his comment. Well, do you have anything to say about
But
horror?
did you say he asked for a link or he didn't?
He did, but he said he's gonna go live soon, so he can't. It's all good though.
Okay, no worries.
Brian, are you done driving? He's never done. I don't know, dude. You gotta be careful on the road. Can't be doing that shit.
Yep.
Just saying.
Oh, he said exactly what you said. I'm never done driving. You took the words right out of his mouth.
I saw it and I said it. That's all.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I don't read people's minds.
So what else you want to talk about? Or you want to talk more about The Conjuring? I know you had a lot to say.
We got 6 people in the chat, bro.
I know.
All right, Corona really wants to hop in. Let me just try.
All right, let's see what he has to say about the extras. This should be interesting.
Don't disrespect my boy Corona.
No, I'm saying it in a good way. I'm impressed that he likes it and that he's seen it.
I'm gonna see who hops in here next.
Okay.
All right, there it is, Corona. All right, there, David.
There is he.
Oh my God.
Mm.
You want to talk about? You want to talk about this?
No, this is a horror channel.
Kick out of the stadium. All right, you want to do the introduction for Corona?
Yeah, okay.
No, you know I'll do it. You know I got it. Ready?
You want to do it? Okay, you do it.
Coming in. Wait, no, hold on. Coming in from Corona, California. His last name's Corona. Diehard Niner faithful. Diehard Exorcism fan. Diehard horror movie fan. Coming in. David Corona.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Definitely not on the level of Corey the GOAT, but it is what it is. What's up, my boy
What's up,
David
man? How you
Corona?
doing?
We
What's
can't
good,
hear
man?
you with the mask on. I know it's because it's a horror show, but
So what's up? What are you guys doing?
Look what he said.
Oh, hell no.
there
On
we go
the
again.
cardboard bar. Girl. Oh, you need to switch that name.
He still has it in the intro, too.
Anyway, David, let's hear about your thoughts on The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie. My wife likes that movie.
It's a classic, right?
Yeah.
I'm really amazed that you saw it.
Hey, it's raining over here, too, in California.
Ah, there you go. It rained throughout that whole movie. It
No,
rains
it's
through a
raining over
lot
here.
of horror movies. Do you
It's
notice
raining
that?
over here right now.
Yeah, do you notice it rains through a lot of horror movies?
Yeah.
I think it adds like a scarier aspect to it, you know?
No. You got any more raps or
Not today, not for this. I could do your rap again if you want more people to hear it.
What new platforms were happening on for him since he's
Because
not?
he never came on. We got to save it till when he does.
He came in.
It's something for the sequel.
No,
what
but
did he say? David came on the talk about the weather. Yep, you know it.
No, you can't even talk about The Exorcist.
Yeah, I came to talk about The Exorcist.
yo, do the rap about platform if you want.
Yeah, do that one.
I have to take pictures, but I want to do it when he's here. It's not right.
All right.
What was I gonna say? Do you remember the scene where she went up the stairs like a spider? How freaky was that?
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And did you know that they used pea soup to make her throw up green?
Ew. God.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That, by far, one of the most famous lines is "The power of Christ compels you" in that movie. It's insane.
Hell yeah.
God, you guys are nasty when you.
And that she kept talking in tongue.
I didn't say nothing. KarKast, he did.
Peace.
I say, and that she kept talking in tongue. Remember that?
Yeah.
Enough Tongans. Talanoa. Tongo.
You guys ready for the game on Sunday against the Raiders?
Well, we don't want to talk about the 49ers here. It's just horror.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
look who's in.
who?
CG, my boy.
Oh, what's up, CG? Come in.
I don't know if CG's a horror fan, but what's up, CG, my man?
I'm sounding like a robot again. I think I'm sounding like a
I put
robot
it
again.
down for the blue. I put it down for the blue.
Oh, look what he did. The blue.
All day. Yep. That's a wrap, Jeff.
No, I'm still here. It's just everybody sounding like a robot. I have to come back in again.
All right, come in. Come back.
CG, hit the like. Everyone hit the like and subscribe.
Yeah, everybody subscribe to KarKast. Hit the like button. We were talking
Ready
about
for the
scary
game?
movies. Hey, you know what? You know what freaked me out one time?
What happened?
I was all freaked out. Right, I've been up for days, no sleep. This guy had a Michael Myers mask, right?
Yeah.
That fool fucking scared the shit out of bricks out of my. I thought I was fucking seeing shit.
What in The Exorcist?
No, this guy. I was up for like days, right, with no sleep.
Yeah.
And fucking, I thought I was seeing shit, right?
Yeah.
Nah, but my homie was trying to scare the shit out of me, and he fucking scared the shit out of me.
That's fucked
What
up.
did he do?
That's fucked up.
He just had a fucking Michael Myers mask, and he had a knife, and he was trying to fucking scare the shit out of me.
Damn. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That is crazy.
Corona. I know you
Yes,
love
sir.
Myers.
Huh?
I know you love Michael Myers.
He's my
Yeah.
favorite. He's my favorite. Yep. I just did Corona. You just missed the rap about Michael Myers.
Do it again then.
Okay. I have The Exorcist in there too, by the way.
All right.
Hold up.
Watching the Dodger game right now.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Winning or losing.
You're always watching some kind of game while we're on live on the show.
0-0, top of the fifth inning. They're playing the Diamondbacks.
Okay. All right, here we go. You ready, Corona?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, anyone else who missed it? Here we go again.
I'm ready.
Ode to Michael Myers, armed with a big-ass serrated butcher knife, putting his victims in strife. He particularly likes to kill when boyfriend and girlfriend are getting romantic, and when he makes the kill, it is always quite tragic, making boys and girls everywhere panic. He's a horror icon fanatic. My favorite of all the horror characters and actors, his mask is based on the face of William Shatner. He is a phenomenal actor, makes his killings with such precision as accurate as nuclear fission. In Halloween 5, little Jamie is feeling his telepathic feels his pain through his vision. Always making a precision killing decision with no provision, no supervision, sometimes so precise it is like a surgeon's incision. And in Halloween 2, it was a surgeon's incision. With derision, the act of deriding or treating with contempt. And there are barely... There I go. I keep losing this. And there are barely any heroes in this movie, so you can bet nothing is heaven sent, but no derision, for he shows no contemptuous laughter, but you can bet your life is on the line, so it's most definitely a factor. As strong as a tractor, you may not come out alive or in a non-mangled position, and this is that way it has been and will always be going along with horror tradition. And in The Exorcist, you most assuredly have an excision. As in this movie, to excise the demon out of Regan Crane, the priest tries to drive the demon inside Regan Crane insane, wants to drive the demon all the way as far away as Spain. And in the movie, boy, is there a lot of rain. As the priest in the movie quotes, the power of Christ compels you. You while holding the cross, trying to show the demon who was boss with horrific force and taking the demon on a roller coaster course. But back to Halloween 5, I do not particularly care for any of his masks besides the original mask of William Shatner on his face. When you face off against him, you will most assuredly have a bleeding face.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see the movie Hush, David Corona?
Huh?
Did you see the movie Hush?
Nah, I never seen it.
Okay, so we shouldn't spoil it then. But we recommend it to you. Me and
Go ahead.
The rap?
Yeah.
Okay, but it spoils it, just to let you know if you didn't see it yet.
That's
Doesn't
all right.
bother you? Okay.
Nah.
Just being fair. Ode to the movie Hush, filled with blood and guts. Somewhat trust, but surprisingly not once was there lust. Coming in for the killer became somewhat of a bust. One of the weapons of choice was a crossbow, and when it hit, boy, did the arrow into the skin thrust. The victim, for obvious reasons, thought it was the victim lived in quite an affluent area. You might even say like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, upper crust. She gave... Where was I? She gave the killer a look of great disdain and disgust. The arrow every time was carried through a strong but silent in the air crisp wind gust. The arrow was hard to adjust, to sit just right in the crossbow. With the bad guy there was a feeling of mistrust. Since the main victim was deaf, there was a need to read lips and readjust. But surprisingly, no one did cuss, unless you count sign language cussing. The killer did combust in many sense of the term, and did him the anger did burn. And making the kill is for something he did yearn. Making the killing was going to be perfect on this deaf woman. So he would, on this deaf woman, and so he would take his time, wait for the perfect moment, and then take his turn. And when he did, the fight for her life did sojourn. She was smart, she was cunning, running, crossbow gunning. This man at all times she was trying to be shunning, outgunning. The killer was also armed with a knife, a bush machete, and the blood flow to him was a lot like confetti. To make the strategic moves, like Freddy Krueger, that is, he always tried to outmaneuver her any chance he can get. Oh, believe me, this was the way more than a threat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Karthik for watching this movie with me and telling me to watch this movie. This movie was off the hook, like our channel and our panel. All right, you feel me? Bet. Switchblade, the OG horror rapper, out.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Corona, David, what other movies have you seen? Horror movies.
Freddy Krueger.
Okay, what's your favorite Freddy Krueger movie?
When that guy sinks in the waterbed.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Johnny Depp. That was his first movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then blood flow went all the way onto the ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
The new Freddy Krueger, I don't like it as much, but I like the original much better.
Yeah.
Robert Englund really knows what he's doing with it.
Or the other one, when Freddy Krueger pops in his little Freddy Krueger hand, pops out his ear.
Oh yeah, that was freaky.
Yeah.
And what else?
Seen I just saw the last Michael Myers movie, the Halloween movie. That's all right. It should have been better.
What do you think could have been better in that movie?
The ending.
Okay. Do you care if we spoil it? Oh wait, Karthik, do you care if we spoil it? I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I don't care. Let's go ahead.
All right. We'll still probably watch it though. I thought it was good. Yeah. What okay, you can go ahead and spoil it. What did you think? What didn't you like about that movie? I thought it was pretty good.
The ending.
Yeah, the end was suck.
I thought it was, I see where you're going with that. I thought it was strange that there were two endings. Like he ended up in the in the what do you call that thing?
In the gutter?
No, in the tree, where you destroy the trees. You put them through like a machine. I forget what you. The name.
Yeah, the grinder.
I'm talking about that. Yeah, it's kind of like a grinder, but more. There's a special name for it. I keep forgetting the name, but he put the body through that, and then they were still a face-off with the knives. They should have done one or the other. I think to make two endings was kind of silly.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? That it was silly that they made two endings?
Nah, I thought it was kind of dumb because like they killed him, right, and they brought him back, but they killed him again. They put him in a grinder, so they say he's never coming back.
Right, and then he had to face off against that surviving lady.
Yeah.
Who was Jamie Lee Curtis, who was the person who started the whole thing back in her cheerleading days.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. That part was, and then I also touched about what were your thoughts on Halloween H2O? By the way,
I think I think they did all right, but they said they're gonna make another one.
well, they're done making the Halloweens because that's Halloween ends. That's it.
Oh, okay.
But Halloween H2O, the thing that I pointed out before with Karthik is basically that like the name itself was strange, like calling it Halloween H2O because it's like Halloween water, and it's like it doesn't make any sense. Like you had to like really investigate into it to know that it was Halloween after 20 years. But like, who would guess that? It sounds like the compound for water, the
Right.
chemical compound.
Right.
So that was one thing, and the other thing is he was killed like 7 times in that movie. It was so unrealistic. Like he was shot, he wasn't dead. Someone ran over him with a car, he wasn't dead. They stabbed him, he wasn't dead. And then they
They
put
hit him with the baseball bat. It was not
They hit
dead.
him with the baseball bat, exactly. And then they put an arrow through his head, and all of a sudden he's dead. I mean, come on. That makes for a bad movie, a bad horror movie. You don't want to kill him 50 times. What does that even mean?
All right.
Yeah. And I also, did you see Halloween 3?
Yeah.
So wasn't it so strange that Michael Myers wasn't even in that movie?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah. And I think it destroyed, like, if you wanted to make a box set of it, I think it's destroyed the whole thing,
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, what did you think of Halloween Rob Zombie?
I forgot about it. Like,
well, I think the only thing that was, first of all, it came out August 31st. And that I thought was just so weird, because why not call the movie August 31st? Like, it's so strange. Like, it's summer, we're wearing shorts, I'm in the movie theater in shorts. I mean, that it's so weird. Like, it's not even like on Halloween or close to Halloween. It was the only movie not on or close to Halloween. And the movie's called Halloween, so that's very strange.
Yeah.
And then also, hey, what's up, John Jay?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, just wanted to pop in for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great having you.
Yep. Just wanted to pop in and say, Golden State Warriors.
They have to.
Best team in the NFL. I mean, in the NBA.
Let me show you. Let me show you a real bobblehead. Hold on.
Okay.
What do you want to show, David Corona? Your Dodgers losing? Your Dodgers getting
lost? The best. Oh, hold on.
So you guys are talking about scary movies?
Yeah.
You're
a horror movie fan?
Exorcism.
I don't watch a lot of scary movies.
This is John Jay's favorite bobblehead. Hold on.
John Jay's trying to say something. Hold on. You go on, John Jay.
I don't watch too many scary movies because, like, I've been watching scary movies since I was a kid. They always put me to sleep.
Okay. I hear you. But there's nothing that scares you? Nothing?
See,
John Jay, this is your favorite bobblehead.
Let's see what scares me. Let's see.
I think that might scare you, John Jay. Your
Life,
favorite
like life in general, life in general, like there are a lot of scary things in life that are like more serious than just like boring things. Like I had a teacher who was Buddhist when I was a kid.
Okay.
And he said every day is special. Today's special, tomorrow we don't know. And he basically taught me that when it comes to life, you live one day at a time, one moment at a time, because tomorrow's never granted. So that's something, that is scary if you think about it. And that's why I try my best never to fight with people. It's always about living one day at a time, and so that stuff like knowing that.
So like nothing is for certain. You shouldn't take things for granted.
So
I
that's
mean,
something.
tomorrow never promised.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah. So things like that, like irrational fears, like spiders and snakes and heights. Like those are irrational. Like it's common sense. But when it comes to like irrational, I'm not afraid of a lot of irrational things. Like if I see a spider, like I don't like them, so I try to catch them and put them outside. If
What
not,
about like arachnophobia? Did that scare you?
nah, I'm not afraid of snakes. I
I'm
used to
not
play.
either.
I used to play with snakes when I was a kid because we had a lot of garter snakes where I lived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not afraid of them either.
I hated going to like the top of our school, like this the building, because we had a garden up at our school, and so we had to go up there, and a bunch of us would throw rocks, and one day, one of my friends, he dropped like a sweater, so I was kind of dumb, and so I went to the ledge, and I almost slipped. So that's something that was not smart to do.
Yeah, that's seen a lot in horror movies. People, killing themselves and falling off the sides, and
Yeah. So there are a lot of irrational fears that people have. So that's why I chose like heights, spiders, and snakes, because there are some venomous spiders. There are venomous snakes, so makes a
right,
lot of sense. And some people don't like to be like 10 stories up in the air.
right. They're afraid of heights. Yeah.
Yeah. But
What about
for
what
me,
about
like
bats? Do they scare you? Bats?
I try to hit a bat with my hand. Luckily, I didn't, because apparently when they caught the bat, it had rabies.
Oh wow.
And if I would have hit I would have to get like a bunch of rabies shots. So I learned never ever play with a bat.
Yeah. I don't think you'd be playing with spiders or snakes either if they had rabies.
Jeez, I remember 8 years ago, they had they were repatching the ceiling of my home, and then they besides the ceiling and the roof, so they had to gut the entire ceiling and roof. There was a spider infestation, so they did everything they could to kill it, and then the next day I woke up and my bed was filled of probably like half a dozen spiders, and I'm not talking about tiny ones. I'm talking about like the size of a baseball.
Like it's tarantula.
So I was like, God damn! Now I know why people are afraid of spiders, because the small ones, like they're annoying, but once they get big, they look like a monster.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Spiders can be scary.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to harp on what John Jay brought up. I'm probably gonna end the stream so I can go tune into Brian's, but
I know like that's what I was asking, like how long we were gonna go, because I
Yeah.
don't want to miss Brian's stream.
max an hour and 45, but I'm probably gonna end it after this. But yeah,
All right.
don't take any day for granted. Definitely
Yep.
agree with that. Live life to the fullest.
Yep.
I've heard that from
yeah.
a lot of people. Try doing things that make you feel better, even if you're having a bad day. Talk to someone, do something you're passionate about, because time flies. Especially as a kid, time flies by
yeah.
quick. I've talked to a lot of adults. It's always not fun. Taxes, stuff like that. So enjoy your young days. Do what you love. And, just want to put that out there, because a lot of people take it for granted, and nothing simple to think about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So KarKast, before I forget,
Yep.
I made you 3 logos. Like the one for
Yeah, I saw that,
your wallpaper, the one for the channel, and you could use the other one where the one that says KarKast. You could also put that up there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It means a
But
lot.
anyway,
Yeah.
I'm out. I gotta go watch Brian's show.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah,
Take
you
care,
too,
guys.
man. Thank
Peace.
you.
Peace
All
out,
right, bye.
David.
Yeah.
Bye. All right, I'm gonna end it, Jeff.
Okay.
All right, peace.